This is the Toward a New World podcast with your host, Corinna Stoffel. As a space for all things regarding the global collective transition we are in, we have conversations about transition, separation, and connection regarding oneself, others, and the earth. The aim is to educate, empower, and inspire. Hello and welcome to today's episode. I decided to talk about choosing for you. It's not what you've been told. And it may be influenced by the fact that I am a woman that experiences slightly different messages from our society, our culture. But nevertheless, I think it's a common one. How often have you heard, if you are choosing for you, you're selfish? Or even worse, if you're choosing for yourself, you take away from others. And that is where the woman aspect comes in, because as a woman, I'm supposed to provide and support, be there for others, especially for the spouse, especially for the kids. And so for coworkers, for all kinds of people. And if I don't choose for myself in the sense of taking care of myself, how do I avoid burnout? And interestingly, burnout is a very, very common factor for women. So the question that I have is who came up with the idea that women have to be there for others? And how can you be there for others if your cup is empty? I mean, let's just look at the analogy. Somebody is thirsty and all you can offer them is an empty cup. How much are you actually able to be there for that other person? Think about that. And then I've heard another thing that is even starker. If we choose for ourselves, we are narcissistic. And that has a bad taste. Narcissism is used in that context to maybe gently, forcefully force people to do what they're supposed to be doing according to other people's ideas. Narcissism is considered callow. They have a need for admiration. There is entitlement. And since it has such a bad rep, do we wonder why we would not choose to be narcissistic and therefore not choose for ourselves? Are we willing to look at what works for us? And it's not, when I say choose for myself, it's not coming from that space that I'm all self-absorbed and everything needs to revolve around me. It comes from the space where I have to be part of the whole equation. I have to be part of the whole. I'm not separate from it. And that is the important aspect. Is it working for me too? It's not just, oh, is it working for me? I don't care if it's working for you or not. That would be more into the selfish, narcissistic direction if you want to go there. But is it also working for me? Not just for you. And that is the important question. For me, when I look at it, how much do we have the cultural norm in regards that is creating a polarity and a limitation? It seems to me culturally, if a man says, I want to do that, I'm going to choose that for me, there is not much of an issue. If a woman does that, it's looked at it in a different perspective. And if I say that is not working for me, there is a funny energy that is coming back from others, and that's all I can say. By and large, we are encouraged to follow the norm. So who set the norm? And we are encouraged to follow the norm no matter if it works for us or not, no matter if we are included in the whole idea, in the whole group. And the polarity comes from, do I agree with it or not? And if I agree with it, then it's not an issue. And if I not, then I usually will go into fighting it. And fighting something is not where it's at from my perspective. It's not about the either or. It's about finding the middle way. And the middle way is a situational spectrum, because it's not either all of it or nothing. There is this whole spectrum in between. And one day it may be, okay, I can make it work for me. Or another day, depending on what's going on for me, something is definitely not working for me. And then I will have to make adjustments and work with that. What is the awareness that I can have how my choice impacts others? If I choose for myself, what's the impact on others? And am I willing to ask that question every single time? And this may sound laborious, but eventually, at least that's where I'm at now, I don't even need to think specifically about it. It's just part of my mental makeup that I always will keep in mind, how are my actions impacting others? And that is not coming from a either or place. It truly is, how are they impacting others? And that is what's informing me. I perceive the energy, and then I choose accordingly. I choose what works for everybody. As I said, it's that, am I part of the whole game? And none of us is alone. There is other people, be it in the family, be it extended family, community, wherever we live, there is other people and we are connected to them. Are we willing to honor that? And are we also willing to honor ourselves enough to ask the question, can I choose for myself? Does this work for me or not? And being willing to ask that question in a way lets me be in integrity with myself. I'm not over there and everybody else is here. That's not where I'm operating from. Let's put it that way. And that's why I'm raising the subject. Are we willing to look at what works for us, not just for everybody else? And I'm going to leave you with that. I would appreciate, really, truly appreciate, if you leave a comment and let me know how this is impacting you, what this brings up for you. And also potentially leave a comment what subject area you would be interested in me talking about. Because my aim, as I said in the intro, truly is to shift things from a me-centered or totally other-centered into something that is in balance, that respects and regards everybody and everything, because we're all connected. We're all connected among people, but we're also connected to the earth. So, talk to you soon.